Hello again everyone. In today's tutorial we shall concentrate on the if statement. So what is the if statement? The if statement is a way which enables our computer program to make very basic decisions. We shall begin by getting our program to run a test. And if that test is true, the program will run a certain code, but if it's false, it will not run any code. I shall now show you the syntax to make an if statement. To make an if statement, type out I, F, then add a parentheses. We'll be making the test inside the parentheses. Then add curly braces. So this is called the body of the if statement. And it's inside here where we will write the code to see if the test is true. So we'll write a simple code like I love programming. If the test is true, it will print out I love programming on the screen. However, if the test is false, it won't print out anything. You'll just have a blank screen. I'll now discuss the different types of test. So first we have the greater than test. This tests whether one value is greater than the other. So for example, is 6 greater than 2? As this is true, when we build and run this code, it will print out I love programming. We can also test this by asking if 2 is greater than 6. 2 is obviously less than 6. So when you build and run this, the program detects it as false and it will not run the code, and therefore it will not print it on screen. Then we have the less than test, where it tests when one value is less than the other. So the same principle applies. If you build and run the code 1 is less than 4, it is true, and you will get I love programming printed on the screen. If it is false, for example 4 is less than 1, you'll get a blank screen. So the next test we have is the greater than or equal to test. So if we test is 3 greater than 3, it will be false. However, if we want to test if 3 is equal to 3, we need to use greater than followed by an equal sign. So this time, when we build and run the code, is 3 greater than or equal to 3, it will recognize it as true, 3 is equal to 3, and thus print out I love programming on the screen. We also have the less than or equal to test, so you can test if 3 is less than or equal to 6. It is true, therefore you will have I love programming on the screen. These 4 tests, the greater than test, the less than test, the greater than or equal to test, and the less than or equal to test are called the relational operators. And following these, there are 2 more tests. These 2 tests are called the equality operators. These are simple tests which test if one value is equal to the other or if one value is not equal to the other. To do this test, you need to type is 3 equal to 3. So you need to type the equal sign twice. Reason being that a single equal sign is used as the sign for creating variables and assigning values. Therefore, it was decided that 2 equal signs must be used in testing. You must always remember to use 2 equal signs, otherwise you will get errors. So if we build and run this test, is 3 equal to 3, it is true, and I love programming appears on the screen. If you run is 4 equal to 3, it is false, therefore I love programming does not appear on the screen. The last test we have is the exclamation point equal sign. The exclamation point is the key word for not equal to. So if we test 6 is different than 6, it's false. Therefore it will not print out anything. However, if we then test is 10 not equal to 6 by typing 10 exclamation point equal to 6, it is true, and we will get I love programming printed on the screen. These are all the 6 tests you will come across in C++. So we'll just go over them again. Greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. Now you'll find that computer programmers generally don't just test 2 numbers with each other. They will tend to use variables which they test against each other. For example, ints A equals 98, ints B equals 76. Then they will run a test, is A greater than B? Which it is, as 98 is greater than 76. Thus, I Love Programming will print on the screen. So there may be 2 variables to test against each other, or a variable and a value, and so forth. For example, is 76 greater than 7? Yes, it is. It's true. So both variables and values can be used together. So we have relational operators, the greater than and less than, and the equality operators. The equals an exclamation point, not equals. So we've now learned how to make a basic if statement, which is if, your test, then the body. So if we run the test and the code is true, it will run the body and your text will appear on the screen. So that is the basics of an if statement. Now that we know the basics of if statements, we can build on this and use it to improve and enhance our programs in C++. Please do remember not to skip over if statements, because it is actually a very important part of C++, and you'll be needing it to build and make better programs in C++. So once again, thank you very much, and until the next tutorial, bye bye.